Okay, creatives, welcome to the first part of this design bootcamp. Now, in this video, I'm just going to be showing you how to open a new Photoshop document. Just show you a few things that you should know before we start designing. Just a few fundamental things that we should get out of the way so that when we start designing, we're not asking so many questions. Now, if you're opening Photoshop for the first time, you are not going to see anything in this part, this section right here. And the reason is because you don't have any recent jobs or any recent documents that you've opened. The reason why you're seeing things here is because I have recent designs here, right here. There are jobs that I just recently concluded, so that's why they are showing up here. Now, if you look at the left hand side, you can see create new and open. Open is to just open a new open an existing, maybe you want to open a Photoshop document that you used very recently, or maybe you want to open a JPEG file that you want to work on, or a raw camera image, something like that. You can just open it from there. And now if you want to create a new document from scratch, like for design, for instance, it's create new that you're going to use. So you click on create new here. Now Photoshop already has preset sizes that they know are being used in the industry, and they have already set them, so you don't really have to impute new dimensions and new resolutions each time you want to work. So for instance, you want to make it, maybe do a flyer or a poster that's an A3 size poster. So we already have A3 size here. You just click on the A3, and if you look at this right hand side, you see that all the dimensions have changed. Now this is in millimeters, it measured it in millimeters. If you want to change it to maybe inches or centimeters, depending on what you're familiar with, and then it has already imputed everything for you. So depending on what you want to work on part time, Photoshop already has sizes that are familiar with certain projects. Now if you're coming from CorelDRAW or you're meant to design a banner, banners are usually measured in feet, and CorelDRAW has a metric system for feet. CorelDRAW can you can impute dimensions in feet, but Photoshop can't. So what you can do to work around that is use this information when you are to design the banner, that 1 feet is equals to 12 inches. So if you are designing a banner of 2 feet, maybe 2 by 2, you know that is 24. That's 2 times 12, that's 24 by 24 inches. Then the resolution for this one, you just leave it in 300. Now resolution is what determines how clear your design will look. Now you don't want to put it too high because you want it to be clear, because once your resolution shoots too high, you can put 1000 here, you can put 1 million. Photoshop, see, it's even start to pick red, because at this point Photoshop is going to go crazy. Your system is not going to be able to carry it, no matter what laptop you are using. You can't be working at 10,000 DPI. Your system will not be able to pick it. So fundamentally we start around 75 all the way to 300. So just leave this one in 300, and the reason why this is 300 is just because 5 by 5 is actually very small, so your system should be able to carry it. But if somehow your system is lagging, you can just put it at 150 or 75, but 300 should be fine. 300 should be fine. Then RGB colors. If your design is going to remain on a screen, please leave it at RGB. If you are going to print it, you put it on CMYK. Note that RGB colors are for screens, social media posts, WhatsApp, anything that is not going to be printed, that is going to remain on screen for like adverts on social media. Use RGB. CMYK is going to be used when you want to print. When you want to print, note, when you want to print, then these 8 bits, just leave it at 8 bits. Transparent, depending on what color you want to start, open your like you see custom. Now I can change it to purple, so I don't use colors, as in I don't open my background with a default color. I just like leaving it at transparent. I like having it just blank and working my way up from ground. Then under these advanced options, maybe somehow your own is not opened, you can just click on this and it will bring out the advanced options. Just leave this at working RGB. Maybe if it's not there before, just find it is up here. And then square pixels, so that's fine. All this is fine. Once you set it like this, the next thing to do is just click on create. You allow Photoshop to open. Now before I end this particular video, I would like to show you a few very important things that you should know. First of all, if you want to fit the document to screen, click on Ctrl 0. It's going to fit the document to screen. If you want to zoom out, it's Ctrl minus on your keyboard, and Ctrl plus is going to zoom in, and Ctrl 0 is going to fit it back to screen. Do you understand? If you want to do that with a mouse, you're going to hit hold Alt on your keyboard and use the trackball on your mouse. So you zoom in and you zoom out. If you want to fit it back to screen, you press Ctrl 0. Now, for these rulers that you see up here, they're actually very good when you are designing. They help you keep your work neat and organized. So somehow, just in case maybe your rulers are not showing, you hit Ctrl R. I hit it and it disappeared. You hit it again and it's going to bring it back. So these rulers, you can just come from here and drag, and you see that it snaps to the lines above. It snaps. So if you let go here now, it has drawn a blue line as a guide. You see that if you zoom out, no matter how much you zoom out, that ruler still remains there. Then you can bring one from here, and this will give you the guides that you need for your design. So if you want to take them out, you can just draw them back upwards and they will leave your design. Now, one very other important thing that you need to have is your properties tab opened. So if it is not opened, it's usually, may I keep mine here, and if it's not there, just by the time you open up your windows here and you click on properties, you see properties here, so it will open up. Now maybe for instance it's not in this place, maybe it opens up something like this, maybe it's just floating. What you should do is just drag it, and you see, to create this blue, if you put it here, it's going to create a new section for it beside these ones. But that's not what we want. What we want is for it to be with these ones like this. So you can just customize this section and arrange the few windows that you know are important to you and that you use very often. Then finally, I'd like to show you the hide tool. So for instance, if I draw a rectangle, you see this properties tab opens up immediately. I drew this rectangle, so I can just begin to edit the rectangle. See, now I've given it rounded corners. If I want the rectangle to have rounded corners, I've rounded corners. I can come here and change the color to maybe red, and the color changes. So that is what the properties tab is for. Now you are presently on this rectangle tool. If you want to switch back to the move tool, maybe you want to reposition this, you press the V on your keyboard, or you can just come to this first tool up here. Then you see, if you move this around, you see purple lines. You see this purple line showing up. These purple lines are helping you to guide your work. If you hold Control on your keyboard, it's going to snap it to that line. It's going to keep it on that line, up and down. It's going to keep it on the line. So what these purple lines are doing is help you see how your work is interacting with other objects in the project. Because we have only one element here, that's why you are not actually getting the full flow of how it works. But by the time we start to get into proper designs, you see how it works. So that is actually very helpful. So somehow, just in case your purple lines are not showing, you press Ctrl H on your keyboard. As I pressed mine, it took them out. If I press it again, it's going to bring the purple lines back. So if I move around, I'll see purple lines. So in the next video, we're going to be working on a very, very simple design, just text upon image. And what we're going to be doing is walking through certain Photoshop tools that are essential for design. Get used to how all these tools work, and you use it to create an actual design.